Good. Reminder, yeah, Derek has posted the WhatsApp link. Please click on that. Okay, if you're not sure, ask Derek. Okay, but I need you to be in by end of today. Yeah, otherwise you miss out all the updates. And you miss out all the exam tips we will give you. Okay. If you're ready to start, let's go ahead. We go ahead and start slide number 106. Good. Okay, here we go. Slide 106, this one will come up in exam. What is banking secrecy? So mark this slide down. The rule is they have here, any director, officer, or agent have access to customer information. If they disclose to another person during employment or thereafter, the penalty will be writing down 5 years or not exceeding 10 million. They will test penalties in the exam, so you have to write the penalty points down. 5Y. There's another exam little trick to do. 5Y or 10M. Okay, so here for the bank, the secrecy requirement should not apply to following scenarios. If it's used for credit bureau, if it's used for financial stability executive committee, information for PIDM, or if they disclose in consolidated form and I did not identify any person, and prosecuting any person, any offense under written law. This one here on slide 134 is what they say are permitted disclosures. So these are the examples of permitted disclosure. In writing by the customer, or executioner and administrator, or any other legal representative. The second one that they mentioned here, for certificate, grant of probate, and letter of administration for or distribution under small estates. This one here is in the event somebody passed away and they pass it to the next person in the estate. That's what they mean here. Now take note on the individuals, we call it bankrupt. For companies, we call it winding up. So you can write that down, winding up. Also for compliance with a court order, not lower than session court, and PIDM performance, take note. And here will be the guidelines on credit and loans for the banks, here. I mentioned capital adequacy is part of the exam. Now just to recap, capital is to absorb what? Bank capital is to absorb what?
Losses.
Starts with L.
Losses.
Losses. So this is about, do you have adequate capital? Do you have enough capital to cover losses? That's what it's about. And it's based on Basel principles. Okay? And they mention what's the minimum capital requirements for each FI. And they mention risk assets. Now, question for everyone. Is a loan an asset or liability?
Asset.
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 Is it possible you could lose money when you make a loan?
Yes.
Yes. That's why they call it risk asset. So they define what's the risk and they compute what they call risk-weighted asset. You can write down as an example of asset, loans. If you lose money, NPL, do you have enough capital to absorb the losses? Okay, this slide relates to credit exposure to single customers, including the minimum liquidity requirements and how they maintain statutory reserves and how they recognize NPL and impairment provisions here. This slide here is just what they call the minimum requirement for NPL and provisioning. and they'll need to ensure impairment, provision, and write-off has to follow this following purpose. It must be accurate. That's the keyword. It must be accurate. The banking institution risk profile, reserves, and capital position. Preemptive warnings to B&M on deterioration of asset quality of particular sectors of the economy so that effective measures taken to support financial stability of the country. This one you don't read, we can skip. I'll just emphasize one thing. They might ask you, this one is for banks directors, banks senior management. What they might ask you is, what is the maximum moratorium? It's 6 months. That's the only thing I think you can highlight that will test for exam. They won't really test the rest of this slide. That one we can skip through. Okay. Next, I'll ask here, let's see, I'll ask this question to, oh man. Teal, can you on the mic real quick? Huiju, that's what I mean, because I know there's two Teals. Huiju, yeah? Teal, okay, you go on the mic real quick. Yep, go ahead.
I'm sorry.
Nice. So, my first question is, how do I know if a term loan is NPL?
In the secret report, more than three months no pay on the term loan. It will
Okay,
show
that's
1,
good, right?
2, 3.
Okay. No need to mention secret support, but you get the idea. Even in your own bank, you don't need secret support. You already can tell. Okay. How do I know in your own bank, not secrets, yeah, if overdraft is NPL?
The overdue more than 90 days.
But there's no installment. Then how could it be overdue? There's no installment in overdraft.
If let's say they have any overdue, that in the system that will show how many days they're overdue.
Cannot be, because the overdraft has no installment till. Cannot be overdue. How could it be overdue? Unless it's what? I'm looking for the keyword that starts with the letter E. Because overdraft, yeah, it's not like a term loan where you can see clearly the installment. Overdraft is linked to a current account. So how do I know if an overdraft is NPL? I'll give you the clue, yeah? I'm looking for the word that starts with letter E. Is E the slide?
Yeah, assess. Exceed the limit. Exceed the limit, is it?
Exceed the limit, yeah. Excess. So just mark down till that was the exam question, yeah? They asked, when is an overdraft NPL? It's excess of approved limit for 3 months or 90 days. So, because if you say overdue, is a wrong statement, because overdue implies they have a principal installment, yeah? The keyword you want to mention for exam is that is a excess of approved limit. So this one you can mark down as past exam question here. Okay, the rest of it is very straightforward. If it's past due excess of 90 days, it can be shorter than that timeline based on credit risk grading framework. If this intervals 3 months or more, as soon as default, also can. By the way, you can ask any questions anytime, yeah? That's why I asked Mida, yeah, I see you, yeah? Excess, yeah, the keyword is excess. The keyword Amira, yes, high utilization is okay, but if you're still below the limit, then it's still okay. This one will be an exam topic, MFRS 9. MFRS 9 is to test what they call requirements on financial instruments and recognition. and they check on impairment. Impairment is what if there's a write-off or loss. So MFRS 9 is an accounting standard that replaced the old MFRS 139 because for banks, they recognize losses too little too late. So MFRS 9 is based on incurred loss model. They delay recognition of impairment. So they have a lot of criticism how they require impairments for similar assets depending on classifications. So now MFRS 9 is more forward-looking information to recognize expected credit loss. That's the keyword, expected credit loss. For all the type, they're not measured at fair value. So in theory, you could have a performing loan that's still recognized under day one loss because it's based on expected loss. So here, on this point, we are not looking at incurred loss model. We are looking at what is the expected loss in the future based on past events, current conditions, and reasonable and supportive forecasts. For example, for all banks, let's say, for example, we have Malaysian banks in 2019. Okay, here's my question for all of you. For Malaysian banks, which will have higher expected loss?
2020 March.
And why
COVID.
2020?
COVID.
COVID. If you have COVID, do you think the NPL will increase?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think there will be banks will suffer higher losses?
Yes.
It's based on what I want you guys to write down for MFRS 9 is based on expected loss, based on past events, current conditions, and reasonable and supportive forecasts. This one, don't have to worry about it too much. Just follow the accounting rules as per MFRS. Give true and fair view. They have a sound risk management process to control how around their measurements. And they must ensure methodologies for assessing credit risk and measuring level of loss allowance are in place. And they must incorporate sufficient level of prudence and aggregate amount of loss allowance must be adequate to absorb inherent losses. Now, here are the specific requirements for MFRS 9. They say the loss allowance for non-credit impaired exposures and regular reserves is not less than 1% of total credit reserves here. This one I already covered, so we won't repeat again. They also mentioned in the Bank Negara, when the credit has been impaired, when the credit has been impaired and is subsequently rescheduled and restructured, it still has to be classified as impaired. You can only reclassify to non-impaired when they have observed the revised terms and conditions for at least 6 months. AMLA slides is something they love to test in exam. One example of an AMLA question is, what is the department under Bank Negara that supervises AMLA? The answer is FIED. So write that down. Yeah, the relevant authority under Bank Negara that supervises AMLA is FIED. This is where they do the KYC, the CCD processes. Now here, in terms of best practices for credit risk management, you must have appropriate approval credit policies and credit culture, adequate infrastructure for credit risk management, integrated risk management process, and comprehensive internal control and audit procedures. key point behind FEA, and there'll be a lot of questions on FEA here. I will say this. FEA is to mitigate currency manipulation. FEA is to reduce foreign exchange volatility. We want to ensure everyone has a stable foreign exchange environment. So we have a competitive and stable environment for trade, business, and investments to promote economic development. In the exam topic, they will test you what are the 7 notices. So mark this slide down. This one will be in exam. Okay, let's see. Now, the key thing I want all of you to write down is the rules for resident are not the same as the rules for non-resident at FEA. First question I'll ask you is, what is the definition of resident? So this is what they mentioned in the slide. And let me test your understanding here. I want everyone to give me your answers in the chat to test your understanding. Good. Everyone has a clear understanding here. So this one here is a resident. Okay. Because why? It is a non-Malaysian citizen but has PR status and residing in Malaysia. Very good. Next question here. Mal, sorry, I think you left your mute button on by accident. Could you mute, please? Thanks, Amma. I think there's an accident there. So Malaysia Sdn Bhd, shareholder is 100%. Samsung Korea HQ. Here's my second question. I want everyone to answer to test your understanding. Read the slide, yeah? Read the slide. Justin, on the mic real quick. Just curious, Justin, why did you answer resident? It's okay, I'll just help you and clarify for you. Just on the mic real quick. Justin, you there? Hey, where's Justin? Because Justin, I saw your answer was non-resident. Justin? Can you on the mic, please, Justin? One Asmita. On the mic, why do you think it's non-resident?
Because the shareholder is 100% Samsung Korea HQ.
Okay. I want to ask who else answered in RCC? Julia and Janice, is your answer based on that? The shareholding, is it?
Yeah, based on the shareholding.
Shareholding.
Okay. Justin, is your microphone working? What's going on? What's going on? Why is Justin ignoring me? Okay, nine. Oh wait. Okay. I want you three to look at what I wrote here. Janice, Shreya, and Asmita. What does it say here on the third point on the slide? It says a body what? A body corporate.
Incorporated or established or registered with or approved by any authority in Malaysia.
Right. So what I'm saying here is, if it's a Sdn Bhd, is it incorporated in Malaysia?
Yes.
Yeah.
So it doesn't say about shareholding, yeah? You can be,
Oh.
make sense? Yeah? It has nothing to do with foreign shareholding. It's whether it is a body corporate for companies, yeah, is it incorporated or established in Malaysia? So one thing you want to avoid confusion is, it is possible non-Malaysians can be resident. It is possible. Okay? For individual, this is the second point is an example. For companies, it can be, yeah, as long as it's incorporated in Malaysia. Is it clearer for you too?
So it can be both, is it?
It's either one or the other. You cannot be both at the same time.
Oh, okay, either one, yeah?
Yeah, either one, correct.
Okay.
The reason why, Asmita, I mentioned that is because you want to read the MCQ, right? You want to make sure, are they asking a resident question or are they asking a non-resident question? Because if it's resident, you think resident rules. If it's non-resident, you think non-resident rules. Because I mentioned, Shreya, the rules for resident is not the same as rules for non-resident.
Understand.
Cool. And Janice, are you okay now on that?
Yes.
Okay, great. Okay, now, next, unincorporated body, also approved by Malaysia, or government here, you mark down this one is federal, in case you're wondering, this one is federal government. Let's go to slide number 126. So the next 4-5 slides are rules for residents. Remember, the rules for residents are not the same as the rules for non-residents. Okay, here's the key point. If I'm a resident and I invest abroad, if I invest in Malaysia, foreign currency assets is no limit. As long as I have no domestic ringgit borrowing, I have no limit to undertake investment abroad using foreign currency funds. There's no limit. Okay. Now, if I have domestic ringgit borrowing, I have rules in place. I have 50 million. So this one you write down is 50E. Yeah. 50E is for entities. This one here is 1I. 1I is for individuals. 50E, 1I. So if I have domestic ringgit borrowing, I have limits. If I do not have domestic ringgit borrowing, it's the same. I have no limit. Okay. This one here, you can put down, this two is no limits here. No limit. Okay. So that's how you could take note and ask these questions in exam. Okay, next. The next rule they like to test is for residents borrowing in foreign currency. When I say borrow in foreign currency, I mean, for example, US dollar, Sing dollar, British pound, okay, Euro, Japanese yen. For the limits is 100E and 10I. But take note, there are exceptions to the rule. For entities, as long as it's part of the same group. For individuals, is immediate family members. Let me test your understanding. Okay, next. Let's see. JG is resident. Okay. JG borrows USD 15 million. Okay. Okay. From his father, who is non-resident. The JG violate FEA rule. I want everyone to answer. Okay. Everyone seems to be correct so far. You're all correct. Tell me the reason why I didn't violate FEA rule, even though I went above 10 million ringgit as an individual. Why did I not violate this rule?
Because you're borrowing from family members. Yeah.
Okay. I'm borrowing from immediate family member. Now, same thing. If Samsung Malaysia, oh no, I'll test that one later. Now, for ringgit, okay, it is more strict. For ringgit, it is more strict. For ringgit is you write down R1E and 1I. Okay. Okay, let's see. Samsung Malaysia borrows uh, 3 million from non-res, no, okay. non-resident related group of company. Is this violation of FEA? Look at the pink section and let me know. Look especially here. Look carefully. Everyone, oh no, because it's not just direct shareholders, and also because it's the same group of entities. Okay, so everyone, yeah, what they're saying, if it's within the same group, the rule doesn't apply for entities. If it's the immediate family member, the rule doesn't apply. So you have to be very familiar with this. They love to test this. What's the limit? Remember, for foreign currency, 100E, 10I. For ringgit, 1E, 1I. What's the exception? For entities, same group. Individuals, immediate family member. Okay, so let me just double check. Perry, are you okay on that? Vijay, Asmita, Shurya, where do I have it? Oh, CJ, yeah, sorry. Took me a while to register your name. Ginger, you're CJ. Sorry about that. Tazo, Amira, are you okay on that? Brian, Peg Lee, yeah? Okay. I know it takes a while for FEA to get into the, yeah, it's not easy, I understand. So for ringgit notice, they're more strict. You must have firm commitment or anticipatory basis. That one will be the last sentence here. Notice that for foreign currency, they're not as strict as long as they do it for licensed offshore banks. The other popular question that come up in exam will be, it does not exceed how many months from date of export the proceeds must come in. It is 6 months. That's the main thing they'll test for residents. Then here will be the questions that they'll ask for non-resident. Let me see if you can identify whether this is resident or non-resident. Let's say, for example, British consulate. Resident or non-resident? Based on the slide. Give me your answer in the group chat. Non-resident, very good. How about Thai embassy? Thai embassy? Sawatika? Sawatika? Good. How about United Nations? How about United Nations Development Program? How about this? Yes, Asmita, it is non-resident because it is an international organization, supernatural as they say. How about How about this? That's right, Justin. You got it right. Yeah, it's non-resident. That's right. Good. Good. Well done. Okay. How about this one was the one that came up in exam. Malaysian with Singapore PR. Lives in Woodlands, Singapore, and visited parents for 2 weeks in JB during festive holiday. How about this one? Good. I want you guys to mark down this and circle this particular point. This was the question that came up in exam. Can a Malaysian citizen be non-resident? This will be the criteria. So this one was past exam topic that you need to know for exam. So mark this slide. That one was exam top question here. So for investment funds, they can be funded through appointed overseas office or licensed onshore banks group. And the foreign currency borrowings from licensed banks can. Ringgit borrowings can be done from onshore banks as long as for real sector activities for the purchase of residential and commercial property in Malaysia, but purchase of land only is prohibited. Non-residents are free to invest in any form of ringgit assets as either direct or portfolio investments. What I want to say here is remember this key point. The rules for non-resident are not the same as the rules for resident. Non-residents are free to remit out dividends proceeds, profits, and dividends for rising from investments. Okay. For foreign currency, non-residents are allowed to issue foreign currency denominated sukuk or financing for in-house outside Malaysia. Notice for foreign currency, it is less strict. But for ringgit, they are more strict. This is the key point. For ringgit, they are more strict. For non-resident other than non-FI, it depends who's the lender. If the lender is to the right, follow the slide. What is the purpose on the right? If it's stockbroking, for example, here, then I'll follow margin financing. This is share margin financing. If it's here, I can only go any amount on the right here. Here is for settlement of trade and goods and service. The settlement for trade and goods and service can be undertaken in foreign currency or ringgit terms. For buying and selling ringgit, any non-resident FI is for they're more strict as long as you must be purchasing self-fixed assets or settlement of trade in goods or service with a resident. Okay. Now, non-residents are free to buy and sell foreign currency against another foreign currency in Malaysia only with a licensed onshore bank. This one is for derivatives, not something they really emphasize here, so you can just read it quickly. This is for they can use ringgit denominated interest rate derivatives. Buying and selling derivatives follows exchange rate. That is same, it complies with prevailing rule of buying and selling currency. Settlement can be done either way, ringgit or foreign currency, and non-residents can enter into ringgit denominated derivatives, and approved foreign currency derivatives is offered in Bursa. That's it. And here, for non-residents, they are free to open foreign currency accounts with licensed offshore banks in Malaysia and ringgit accounts in Malaysia, and funds in these accounts can be freely remitted aboard in foreign funds. That's it. Okay, now let's do our recap. Everyone, screens on, please. Okay, so everything I say here for those who missed out 10 o'clock, onwards. Remember, this is the key point that they come up with an exam. Oh yes, before I forget, please welcome my colleague. Please welcome my colleague. My colleague. Chong Poiwa. We call her Annie. Yeah. So Annie is fellow trainer as well. So she's today and tomorrow Wednesday she'll be observing. Yeah. So please give her.
Hi everyone. Nice to see you all. Thank you everybody. Thank you, JJ.
Thank you. Okay, let's recap real quick. Yeah. So Annie has over 40 years credit experience. Like she's very experienced. Okay. Now, question number 1. The moment I resign from RHB Bank, I no longer need to follow banking secrecy rule, section 133 FSA. True or false?
False.
False.
Okay. Okay, good. The moment I meninggal dunia and go to heaven, I no longer have to follow banking secrecy rule. True or false?
Yeah.
True.
Everyone said true, is it?
Yeah.
Those of you who said true, put your right hand up. Put your right hand up. And slap yourself. Dare you. I'll tell you why. You're probably wondering, hey, why? Because if you look at the slide 106, it says doing employment or thereafter. Thereafter literally means forever. Even when you meninggal dunia, you still have to hold the secret for 1,000 years.
Wow.
It's literally forever. That's the law. I mean, that's how they wrote it out. They made it very clear. It's like thereafter means forever. Now there are exceptions, or there are permitted disclosure. And by the way, what's the penalty for banking secrecy? How many years are you in jail?
5 years, 10 million.
The fine is 10 million. They like to test that one, by the way. Really force you to memorize. Now, give me 5 examples of either exceptions to that rule or permitted disclosure. Either one, I'm fine. So permitted disclosure is on slide 107.
Performance of PIDM.
Performance of PIDM is correct. Good.
Customer declared bankrupt or business winding up.
Correct. Well done. Yeah. Individual is bankrupt. Companies are winding up. Well done. Good.
Criminal proceedings by court order.
Correct. Criminal proceedings by court order, especially if not lower than Sessions Court. Yep. Okay.
Application under 408 certificate.
When does that normally happen? When you have Farid or distribution of an estate, when does that normally happen? Under what scenario?
Death.
When somebody has passed away, they'll have to pass the estate to their estate holder. Correct. It's what we call the distribution of estates. Okay, good. Any 1 or 2 more exceptions or permitted disclosure? 1 or 2 more?
Criminal case.
Okay. Any 1 more?
Compliance with court order no lower than session court.
Okay, fair. Compliance with court order not lower than session court. I want you guys to mark down 106 and 107 is a popular exam topic. They love to test this. Yeah, they love to test this for exam. Nothing to do with your work, honestly. They just force you to memorize it for exam. Like those little trick questions I told you. Slide 109. I mentioned capital. Bank capital is to absorb what?
Losses.
Prince asset.
Okay. It's based on which principles?
Capital
Basel
adequacy.
Basel principles. So the requirements include minimum capital and define what and compute what to determine capital adequacy and liquidity reserves.
Risk asset and risk-weighted assets.
Ah. So slide 109, yeah, circle that last sentence. That one is exam topic. They'll ask you, why do we need to compute risk asset? Why do we need to define risk asset? Is to determine capital adequacy and liquidity reserve. Okay. Basic question, yeah. If I have more capital, is your bank less safe or more safe?
More safe.
more safe.
That's how you remember. Because
More
the more
safe.
capital that you have, the more losses you can absorb. Therefore, your bank is safer. Very good. Moratorium, how many months? Oh, that's easy. That's 6 months.
6 months.
I tell you that one. I'll give you charity answer. That's too easy. That's too easy. Exam question, site 113. When is an overdraft NPL?
Excess.
So that is excess limit.
Excess of limit. Yeah, excess of approved limit. Very good. Okay. For how many days?
3 months.
90 days.
90 days.
You know, when I first started banking, NPL used to be 6 months.
Ooh.
That was back in 2002. And they changed the rule, I think, like 3 years in. You know why? All the banks and Bank Negara noticed that NPL never improved in month 4, 5, 6. They all were like, forget it. Let's just start at 3 months. But when I first joined, it was like, it was literally 6 months NPL when I first started, 23 years ago. Then afterwards, they realized 4, 5, 6, no difference. Nobody recovers after month 4. It's like gone case already. MFRS 9 is based on incurred loss model. True or false?
True.
True.
I repeat.
False.
MFRS 9 is based on incurred loss model. True or false?
False.
False. It's based
Expected
on
loss.
start with letter E. Expected loss. What I think the loss, okay, incurred means already happened. Yeah? Incurred means, for example, you already got your bonus. Your bonus has been incurred. Whereas next year, you think how much your bonus is going to be. Okay? So, put it to you this way. The worse your MFRS 9, the worse your bonus is going to be. Expected. Yeah? That's how you can equate it. If your MFRS 9 has higher expected loss, your bonus is expected to be lower. Make sense? Okay? So, always remember, MFRS 9 is expected loss model. Look at slide 115 there. Okay, let's see. Okay, slide 120. Which department under Bank Negara supervises AMLA?
FIED.
FIED.
What does FIED stand for?
Financial Intelligence and Enforcement
Intelligence and
Department.
Enforcement Department.
Very good. Slide 123. How many notices are there in FEA?
7.
7.
So mark down slide 123 as exam topic. They will ask you what are the 7 notices, yeah? Are the rules for residents the same as the rules for non-residents?
No.
No.
So,
So that's why we need to quickly identify. Okay. Now, is it possible for a foreign cinema hut that is owned by foreign shareholders be a resident? Possible?
Sorry.
Like
Again?
Samsung, Malaysia Cinema Hut is owned by foreigners. Is it possible they are residents?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, resident.
Because it's incorporated in.
Malaysia.
Yeah.
So now you're clear on that, yeah? Resident is nothing to do with whether you are foreign shareholder. No. Yeah. Just follow slide 124, you should be okay. Now, listen carefully. Slide number 126. On slide 126, I said, here's the question. IJG am a individual. Okay, I'm a resident, I'm an individual. I have no domestic ringgit borrowing. I repeat, I have no domestic ringgit borrowing. I invest 10 million ringgit equivalent abroad in Thailand. Did I violate FEA rule?
No.
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 Pay to
Good.
invoice.
The reason why is because I have no.
Borrowing. No
No
domestic
What
borrowing.
type of borrowing do I not have?
No domestic borrowing.
Yes.
Which currency?
Ringgit.
Ringgit. Remember, FEA is about stable foreign currency environment. We don't want currency manipulation. It's my own money. I take it out, no limit, don't care. But the moment I borrow ringgit from banks and take it abroad, that is where I could manipulate the currency and make it worse for Bank Negara, make it worse for Malaysians. Make sense? Yeah. If I borrow ringgit, take it out, it makes my ringgit worse. Okay, that's how I can manipulate my currency. Okay, second question, slide 127, 128. Yeah. Is the limit for borrowing in foreign currency as a resident the same as the limit for borrowing in ringgit? No. Foreign currency is how much? For entity, how much?
100.
100.
100 million.
100 million. Yeah. The 50 million is for investment abroad.
Individual.
Okay, Risha.
This is where it gets confusing, yeah. This is where you need to take notes and remember, yeah. So for individuals, how much? For foreign currency?
10 million.
10 million.
10 million. What is the exception to that rule?
Same group
Immediate
for
family
NTP.
members.
Indian family members other than
Immediate family members is for individuals. How about for entities?
Same group.
Same group.
not part of his group.
Same group doesn't apply. Is the ringgit limit is how much? The ringgit limit to borrow? The ringgit is how much?
1
Because
million.
you mentioned 100 for 100
100
1 million.
Good.
for 1 million.
Satu. Very good. I'm a resident. I export my goods. When must the proceeds come in?
6 months.
6 months. Slide number 129. It must not exceed 6 months from the day of export. Okay. Can a Malaysian citizen be non-resident?
And
Under what circumstance?
they obtain PR of another country and reside outside of Malaysia.
So I'm gonna I'll say in FEA, I'll say like 80% of the MCQ is resident, 20% is non-resident. To be honest with you. I'll give you one non-resident question as an example. Okay, since I took my wife to a Jackie Chung concert, I'll use him lah. Okay, Jackie Chung came. For those who don't know, Jackie Chung is a famous Hong Kong singer. He's been singing since the 1980s. Yeah, he's 60 years old, I think, 61. And the most impressive part is not the fact that he can sing, even though he's 61. Honestly, the most impressive part is he can do like the yoga split. Like, like just, I can't even do it with my fingers. Like he can do the split on stage. That was incredible. I saw that, I was like, that was more impressive than the singing. Ooh, I was impressed. 61, they can do like the yoga splits on stage. I was impressed. Anyways, Jackie Chung is a non-resident, yeah? I established. Jackie Chung is a non-resident. He comes to RHB and says, I want to borrow Malaysian ringgit to buy a condominium in Damansara Heights. Can or not?
Can.
Can. No
Okay.
issue. 1 month later, Jackie Chung comes to you and says, I want to borrow ringgit to buy empty land.
Cannot.
Cannot.
Yeah. Okay, so remember that's the key thing that will ask you. Yeah. Non-resident is not allowed to borrow ringgit to purchase land only. Condominium can. Commercial property can. That's the only thing that really tests an exam. Okay. The rest of it, not really. Okay. Good. We are right on time, 3 o'clock. We take a slightly longer break. We'll extend the break to 12 minutes. Now, Darren, any favor, could you repost the WhatsApp link again, just in case some people came late? Yeah. Those of you who are not in the WhatsApp link, please follow the link. I know Derek posted it. Because let me check here. How many people are in the group? It's now 26. That means there's like 3 or 4 of you not in yet. Yeah. So please double check. You should be in the group that's called RHB CCR October 25. Yeah. Please must join WhatsApp link. RHB CCR October 2025 for all updates and exam topics, past year MCQ topics. Yeah. If not, you miss out on all the past year MCQ topics. So I need your cooperation. Thanks so much, Derek. Yeah, follow that link. If you're not sure, just ask myself or Derek if you're not sure. Yeah. Okay, we'll take our break. I'm going to extend it slightly longer. We'll make it 12 minutes. And then see you guys in 12 minutes. Good job, everyone. Welcome back, everyone. If you're ready to start, please do let me know. Okay. Okay, great. Perry's ready. Okay. Tazu's ready. Ken's ready. Asmina's ready. Awesome. Good. Now, let's cover the rest of the following laws and regulations. A very, very long, thick chapter for chapter 2. Sorry, spending most of the day on this. Here, in terms of Central Bank Act, that is the level 1. IFSA will come up in the exam, so they'll have the oversight of Islamic money market and Islamic foreign exchange market. And Islamic banks are government licensed under IFSA. Commercial banks with Islamic operations are not considered Islamic banks. Companies under Companies Act. The way I would phrase this is all companies are subject to rules under Companies Act. For example, you can start a company with 1 member. I want you guys to write this down. All Sydney Berhad and Berhad are all under companies limited by shares. Here. All Sydney Berhad and Berhad are all under companies limited by shares. That means their liability is limited to the amount unpaid in their shares. Example of company limited by guarantee, usually in Malaysia's context, would be, for example, charities. And then the one that has a limited company is Sendirian. Remember, Sendirian is unlimited company. Sendirian Berhad is what we call private. Public is what we call Berhad. These are the rules for Sendirian Berhad. Is limited by shares. Not more than 50 shareholders. There's a restriction in transfer of share ownership. You have to get approval from all the directors to transfer shares. And they cannot offer shares or debentures to the public. So let me explain the context. Debenture in slide 142 is a capital markets term. It means unsecured bond. Yeah, it means unsecured bond. And it cannot allot shares or debentures with a view of offering them to the public. Okay? Yeah, it cannot invite the public to deposit money in the company. One key difference between private and public, remember for private, minimum resident director is 1, public is 2. Only private company may pass written resolution. Only public company is maintained the whole AGM. And then I'll talk about the audited accounts exemption later this week. So here in terms of Companies Act, okay, they have what they call a super form of incorporation. So obviously you will assign a registration number with the company, issue notice of registration, and that notice of registration is conclusive evidence the company is duly registered. And that's it. That's all I need to mention. This one we can skip, they won't come up in exam. So you see there's 2 years, there's 1965 and 2016. 2016 means it's the updated version. The old version was called MAA. 2016, they now updated the name, they call it Constitution. For company limited by guarantee, it is compulsory, they must have a constitution. The other types, it is optional. If they don't have it, they have to follow the rules under Companies Act. If they follow the MMA, they'll just follow the MMA until they have passed a special resolution. Next one is par value. That used to exist. For shares, we use the par value concept. This one is for shares. But 2016 onwards, our shares is based on no par value. We call it NPV. Yeah, NPV, not net present value, yeah? So, what is no par value? They expect you to know for exam because there will be exam question. If you want me to explain what no par value means, let me know. If you want me to skip it, let me know. Okay, Perry, no problem. I'll help explain it. Okay, let's talk about no par value. And let's compare to par value. So 1965. So this is CA 1965. Let's say, for example, Perry, yeah, we have here, let's say I raise new shares for new company. And let's say, Perry, let's say I have issue 1 million shares and my par value is RM1 per share. So what that means, I'm just going to draw a line, make sure I don't go past this point. What that means is that 1 times 1 million, it equals to 1 million paid up capital. Next, let's say next year, Perry and Asmita, they issue new shares. It's 2 million at 1.50 per share. So based on this information, Perry and Asmita, is this 1.50 at par or premium value or discount? What do you think? That's right, Perry, yeah, it's a premium. So this one premium par times 2 million, it will equal to 2 million additional paid up capital. And here will be 0.50 share premium times 2 million. It will equal to 1 million share premium account. So that's how it goes back then. Now we are under no par value as of 2016. So as of 2016, when I have a similar process going forward, okay, this is what happens. And then when I have this scenario happens here, I'll just do it simple. 1.50 times 2 million. 2 million equals to 3 million additional paid up capital. So that's what we have. In paid in no par value, we have no share premium account. We have no par value. So Perry and Asmita, you could see here, no par value is easier to understand compared to par value concept before. Did I help answer your question there, Asmita and Perry? Thanks, Perry. How about Asmita? Great. Asmita, I need a favor. The what I drew out on the board, can you take a picture of it and post in the WhatsApp group, please, so that everyone can benefit and remember for exam. Thanks, Asmita. Okay, once the picture is up, then we'll move on. Okay, good. You can see clearly here. Very good. Okay, all done. Good. And I'll close this. Slide number slide number 148. Now there are rules to this rule where you can return this capital to its member. Not really something they emphasize in exam. They did mention there's a statutory corporate restructuring scheme. So when they apply for a court order, they have to grant a restraining order not exceeding 3 months. The court can extend the period for no more than 9 months. They explain now there's a new corporate rescue schemes, corporate voluntary arrangement, and judicial management. So there are two ways to wind up a company: voluntary winding up and compulsory winding up. So I asked this question to what would you think would be the difference between voluntary and compulsory winding up?
Voluntary would be the directors all agreed to wind up.
Yep.
Compulsory would be the one that is coming from court.
Yeah.
They are forced to.
Correct. You know, when my friend had a business, my friend was selling soft drinks, and he told me the way he did it was he got all the creditors together. He said, "I'm going to close my business. How much do I owe you?" So that was by voluntary. So that's how he did it. Compulsory means you're right. It's the one that you're being sued in court. So this is when you want to sue a company to wind them up. You submit the notice of demand, and after 21 days, if they didn't follow, you can wind up the company within 6 months from the expiry date of the notice of demand. This one they won't test in the exam, so we can skip that. Now, the one I explained just now are the rules for companies. This next slide is rules for partnership. So, key points here from exam point of view is they have all partners have joint liabilities. No interest is payable for capital contributed, and it's a legally binding agreement. To take precedent over the act. This one we call it partnership deed. Yeah, so this one you can write down, partnership deed. Now, this rule here is for a partnership that was based on Partnership Act 1961. This one here, LLP 2012, is limited liability partnership. It's not the same as an ordinary partnership. They try to combine the best two concepts, limited liability and partnership. And the ownership terms, they adhere to Partnership Act prescribed by Malaysian company law. LLP may either have limited or general partners. A limited partner doesn't have liabilities of partnership. A limited partner's personal assets cannot be used to settle debts owed by the partnership. And this allows general partner's assets to be used to pay any debts which the partnership may owe. Civil law means they can accept application of common law of United Kingdom. Law to be administered in commercial matters, including banking, business, corporations, shall be the same as laws of England. Any disputes, case present in the UK can be heard and applied in Malaysia as well. So, bills that we exchange is by definition an unconditional order in writing for the payment of money as a specified date. An example of that is a check. When you give a check, it's an unconditional order in writing for payment of money as a specified date. Now here, this is where they mention the main canon of land law for Peninsular Malaysia is the National Land Code. It sets up a system of titles and a system of recording and dealings on land transaction. National Land Code is based on Australian Torrent system of land titles. The fundamental principle on this is the title on land depends on registration and not execution. So I'm going to write down two exam questions they asked before. Exam question number 1, they will ask which NLC is based on which country torrent system of land titles. The answer is Australia. Exam question is title of land depends depends on execution or registration. The answer is registration. Now, I want you guys to all write this down. I want you guys to write down ESR. ESR. E stands for execution, stamping, registration. ESR. This is mesti ingat. Example of execution. Signature. Company seal. Example of stamping. Ad valorem. Nominal. Examples of registration will be, as an example here, land office registration and CCM registration. Some other words you need to know. Bona fide means genuine, in good faith, and also indefeasible title. Means cannot be challenged. Or set aside. Okay, I need a favor. Can VJ, can you help take a picture of what I wrote in the Zoom chat and post in the WhatsApp group, please, so that everyone can benefit, VJ? Okay. Thanks, VJ. Don't forget the ESR, VJ, yeah? I want you to take a picture of that as well. ESR. Good. Yeah, just take that ESR, execution stamping registration as well. Okay, thanks, VJ. Okay. So remember that for exam. Fundamental principle is that in ESR, it depends on registration, not execution. Okay. Remember that ESR, execution, stamping, registration. Sorry, Vijay, can you take one more? Yeah, okay. Thanks, yeah. Thanks. Okay, next. For National Land Code, it sets up a simple system for how we deal with land. Very good. Okay. For how we conduct search. And I'll talk about more of this tomorrow. All these terms here, slide 158, 159. I will explain that more in tomorrow afternoon. I'll explain that a lot more. Whenever you deal with multi-density developments, you always under Strata Title Act. That's when you apply for subdivision for land, secure and transfer strata title to individual owners and buyers, and form management corporation to collect financial contributions from strata title owner. So that one was an exam question here. Another exam question they'll ask, not yet, but this is what's the strata title board is to hear and determine any disputes arising from various parties. And provision financial land code shall prevail if there's any inconsistencies. And strata title act makes it mandatory for developers to hand over the strata title at the same time the ownership property is handed over to buyers. And then this is a slide that will test you in the exam. Okay. And the exam topic will be slide 162. What are the amendments to Strata Title Act in 2013? So let me explain this real quick. Here, it's extended to Labuan. They've introduced electronic land administration system for strata titles. Now, for the original proprietor, they have to apply for subdivision at superstructure stage. In case you're wondering what is superstructure stage, it means the building itself. If I were to say you look at the left side of the picture, if you see over here, well, anything below the ground, the construction is what we call the foundation. That's why they call it the substructure here. But if I call it above the ground, the building itself, we call that the superstructure. When there is phased developments, they do allow issues of provisional strata title and provisional blocks, comprising the land parcels. They do have designated a limited common property creation one or more subsidiary management corporations, and execution transfer documents by the purchaser within 30 days of the day of issue by the land administrator. Here are the requirements for Housing Development Act in Peninsular Malaysia. Exam question that asks is to protect who? Is to protect the house buyers. And the main aim of legislation is to protect the home buyers, okay? It doesn't apply to commercial property. Remember, it applies to develop and sell more than 4 houses here. And all developers must have a separate housing development account. Minimum amount paid on capital and cash deposit is placed with the controller. Here are the licensed developers' requirements. They must open and maintain a housing development account. They must pay into the account any money received for purchase before completion, and they're not allowed to draw the money unless they provide evidence, which is the issue of required certs. All developers must submit progress reports at the time that is determined by the Control of Housing until the CCC is issued. So remember, this only applies for Housing Development Act, more than 4 lots to a view. And money is held under housing development account. Doesn't count towards the developer's asset and cannot be garnished. Okay. All obligations will be under the house buyer's account. Be very careful, especially when the funds are held in trust for the purchasers, and the money is held in housing development account cannot be included in the developer's assets. What doesn't matter if there's a charge or garnishee, it will still be right behind the statutory claims for the funds, and the controller may freeze the account. They mentioned a couple of key points here. If you have, for example, developers has a cancel license or 75% of the purchasers within 6 months cancel, and you already drawn out, you're screwed. You're in a tough position already. So here on this slide, this is where they mentioned for those involved, you have to conduct investigation and empower the minister to seize the books. And they may be called on to provide information. You have to carefully balance in section 133 banking secrecy here. This is the part that will come up in exam. what is CEPA. So mark this side down, exam topic, CEPA. CEPA is specifically for contractors. Especially when it's a dispute on money or payment problems, they go through a statutory adjudication process. They will recognize that cash flow of small contractors who are financially maybe disrupted for these reasons. And the adjudication proceedings ensure that any payment dispute relating to construction work is resolved speedily to facilitate smooth cash flow in the construction industry. And parties to the construction contract will be subject to compulsory statutory adjudication under CEPA 2012. I think we can stop now. Let's recap real quick. I know there's a lot of things to cover, and I know this topic is very, very dry. So let's take the opportunity now to recap what you've covered so far. Now, let's go to slide number 140. Sendirian Berhad, and Berhad is which type of company limited by? Shares or guarantee? Slide 140. Shares. Yeah. So always remember, all Sendirian Berhads and Berhads are companies limited by shares. Sendirian is which one? Limited or unlimited company? Sendirian.
Unlimited.
That's why CJ limited. Okay, very good. Okay, Lee Wen, well done, limited. Can a Sendirian Berhad have more than 50 shareholders? On slide 142.
Cannot.
No.
Cannot. Right. Maximum 50 shareholders. Can you buy Sendirian Berhad shares freely? Or is
Cannot.
there a restriction in transfer of shares?
Restriction. Approval by director.
You have to get a director's approval. So that's why you notice you never see a Sendirian Berhad that's listed. All listed companies are Berhad. The way you write it down for exam purposes, the rules for Berhad are not the same as the rules for Sendirian Berhad. Yeah? The rules for public companies are not the same as the rules for private limited companies. Can a Sendirian Berhad offer shares or debentures to the public?
Cannot.
Cannot.
What does debenture mean?
Unsecured bond.
Unsecured bond, write that down, yeah? It's a unsecured bond. Okay. Let's go straight to slide number 153, 154. True or false? Partnership and LLP are both governed by Partnership Act 1961. True or false?
False.
I want to hear the rest. Thank you, Perry. I want to hear the rest.
False.
False.
I still see a lot of people's screens not on. Screens on, please.
False.
The answer is false. Okay? Remember that the rules for partnership are not the same as the rules for LLP. Yeah? The rules for partnership are not the same as the rules for LLP. Which one is more newer? Which one is more recent? Partnership or LLP?
LLP.
LLP.
Only been around for,
LLP.
it's only been around for 13 years. Okay? Okay, Mira noted. Okay, next. Slide 157. National Land Code is based on which country's torrent system?
Australia.
Australia.
Okay. You cannot have title on land just based on document execution. You can't have a title to the land just based on execution only. True or false?
True.
True.
True. You must have what?
Registration.
But I taught you 3 letters, yeah? What are the 3 letters you must know for today and tomorrow?
ESR.
Execution. R.
E is
ESR.
Execution.
Stamping, registration.
well done. Give me 2 examples of execution.
Signature, company seal.
Signature
Resolution.
company. Very good. Give me 2 examples of stamping.
Advalorum.
Nominal.
Well done, Suraya. Good. Okay, and give me 2 examples of registration.
Land
Land
office.
office.
Land office.
CCR registration.
Very good. It applies to charge too, yeah? When you apply a charge, you must register at where?
Land office.
Land office.
Land office.
What does bona fide mean?
Genuine.
Genuine.
In good faith.
Good faith.
In good faith.
Genuine in good faith. It is a Latin word, yeah? A genuine in good faith. So a buyer that's bona fide means a genuine buyer. A genuine buyer. Okay, once they registered, they have indivisible title. What is indivisible title?
Cannot be challenged.
Cannot be
Cannot be
challenged.
challenged.
Not be challenged. Okay. Okay, next. There was a past exam question where it says, which is the relevant law that states there must be a formation of management corporation or financial contribution collection for multi-density?
STA.
STA, Strata Title Act, yeah? Slide 160. That was a past exam question. Now, I want you to tell me on slide 162, give me 5 examples of amendments to Strata Title Act.
In extension to Labuan.
Okay?
Introduction of the electronic land administration system of strata titles.
Good.
Designation to limited common property.
Okay.
And I have sub MC.
Sub MCs. Okay. 2 more.
Execution of transfer documents of ownership strata titles
Within how many days?
within 30 days
Within 30 days. Very good.
from the date of issue.
One more. I'm looking for the key one. The key one they like to test an exam.
Apply for subdivision at the superstructure stage.
Very good, They apply for subdivision at superstructure stage. Everyone circle superstructure stage is the exam answer. They ask subdivision must be done where? At superstructure stage. What is the definition of superstructure based on looking at the picture on slide 162?
Ground level.
Anything that is above the ground.
Above the ground, the building itself. What do we call the foundation below the ground? We call it what?
Substructure.
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 Okay. Okay. Good. The rest of it is very straightforward. Housing Development Act, is it to protect A, the bank, B, the developer, C, the house buyer? Which one?
House
House
buyer.
buyer.
Also buyer.
Mark that down. That's on slide number 163. That is exam topic. Okay. Mark that down. Next, if I build 4 houses, I'm under Housing Development Act. True or false?
Yes.
Yeah, true.
Those of you who said true, I say patah hati.
More than 4.
More than 4. Oh, sorry. More than 4.
More than 4.
More than 4. Sorry.
It's a trick. How they trick people in the past. You circle on slide number 163. Om patah hati, remember, is more than 4. Yeah? More than 4. Or you write down 5 and above. Make it easier to remember. It's always 5 and above, or more than 4. That's a trick. That's a classic AICB trick. That's how they got people in the past. Okay. Okay, last question before we take our final break. What is CIPA for? CIPA in slide 169. What is CIPA for?
Construction Industry Payment and
Dispute in the
Adjudication Act.
Education Act, okay. Now, it's for which type of parties?
Contractor.
Contractors.
Contractors. So, for those who don't know, the developer is not the one that's doing the actual construction, yeah? The actual people that's doing the construction is what we call the contractors. We have below the developer is the main con. Okay, after that is the
Contractor.
subcon, yeah, subcontractor. So sometimes either the main con or subcon are bullied by the payment master. Maybe they're not paying them properly, or maybe some of the workers are not getting paid or getting paid less because they're getting screwed. So this is where they go to adjudication and then they go to court. Okay, in case you're wondering what is adjudication? It's a formal. Oh yeah, I'll write it out for you guys. Yeah, in case you're wondering what is adjudication. Adjudication means a formal judgment on a disputed matter. This is adjudication. In case you're wondering what that means. It's a legal process of resolving dispute. It's a legal process of resolving dispute. So they want to do it quickly. So that makes the people will get their money. Okay. So that's adjudication. It's a formal judgment. It's a legal process of resolving. Okay. Good. Now we're on pace. Very good. We now take our last break of the day. Take our 12-minute break, and then I'll see you guys in 12 minutes. Then we'll wrap up by 5. Okay, good job, everyone. I'll see you guys in 12 minutes. Okay, good afternoon. Welcome back. Let's go ahead and wrap up the rest of the day. Okay. Okay, let's go ahead. If you guys are ready to start, do let me know. Okay, awesome. Hire Purchase Act, it covers cars. So it's, when you look at this, you think car financing, auto finance. It's now been extended to cover consumer goods. And these are the rules that they have. Minimum down payment 10%, maximum interest rate charge. These are all the rules under Hire Purchase Act. It was amended in 2010 where they increased the protection of consumer rights. They defined the refundable booking fees, and they made the rule for repossession of cars where if you have 75% or more of the price already repaid, you have to get a judgment order. Here in slide number 171, this is a contract law. So this is what are the scenarios that apply for contract law. You can write this down. Examples of contract law. Guarantee, indemnity, what else? Assignment for properties, about title, and leasing. These are the relevant acts under contract law. The rest of it here, they don't really test so much. I mean, there was an amendment in 2015 on Sydney and Berhad. Sydney and Berhad can raise funding now through equity crowdfunding. Okay, so example I remember was Gamers Hideout. Gamers Hideout Sydney and Berhad, they were trying to raise funds through equity crowdfunding. That's to promote capital market inclusion and widen avenues for capital raising. So this is the only thing I would say that's noteworthy for exam. Otherwise, the rest of it you can just quickly read through. That's it. Slide 175. They made the change in the bankruptcy rule because there was a significant number of bankruptcy cases for individuals below the age of 35. And the Act has reintroduced a rescue mechanism called the voluntary arrangement. And then these are the salient elements of voluntary arrangement. Okay, the debtor will appoint a nominee. Nominee is, for example, an independent professional. It could be a lawyer or an accountant. And they will file an interim order for voluntary arrangement. That means during this 90 days, you cannot make someone bankrupt and no legal proceedings against the debtor except with court permission. So during this 90 days interim order period, they'll try to get all the banks and say, hey, look, let's figure something out where we can compromise, we'll get some discounts. So the nominee will have to secure 50% of the number, 75% of value of creditors' agreement. If the secured creditors' rights cannot be affected without their consent, and if the approval is obtained, it will be binding on all the creditors here. Here are the other features of the new act. You must serve personally bankruptcy notice. Substitute is possible, but it's more strict unless they have evaded or left Malaysia. And the threshold now, as of today, is 100,000 ringgit. It used to be 2 orders, adjudication order, receiving order. Now they call it a bankruptcy order. And this is the exam topic here. Which type of guarantor is prohibited to be made bankrupt, the answer is social guarantor. Social guarantor, by definition, is one that doesn't profit and essentially provide a guarantee for an education loan, HP transaction for personal non-business use, or a housing loan for personal dwelling. Okay, so just remember that, for example, you cannot make a social guarantor bankrupt for exam purpose. They have also added other protection for other types of guarantors. Okay, but generally you have to exhaust all modes to recover from the debtor first before you go after the guarantor. These are all the lists. And what they're saying here is as long as they're either on this list by the DGI or there is also an automatic discharge of bankruptcy 3 years after submitting statement of affairs, and they're subject to achieving target contribution by DGI. So you can be discharged after 3 years as long as you follow DGI targets. And solvency assistance fund has been established by DGI for the purpose of achieving betterment for the administration of proceedings. Next one here is money laundering. Money laundering is the process of disguising illegally sourced money so that the funds appear is coming from legitimate sources. And then remember the department that looks after it is who? FIED. This was the old name. The old name used to be FIU. Now it's under FIED. They'll work with the Malaysian Police and Customs to enforce the law. The objective of this act is to prescribe legal control. They require all FIs to report on money laundering. Okay. And this is where they have the records of record keeping, report suspicious transactions, and records retention here. This is the slide that will come up in exam. They'll ask you, what are the warning signs under AMLA? So circle this one particularly on the right side, AMLA here. This is the exam topic here. So someone said to me like last year, hey, this topic come up in exam. What is the credit card facility warning signs for AMLA? So take note of this for exam. If it's large cash transaction, they call it threshold reportings. If it's suspicious transactions, it's called STR reporting. And the punishment is 5Y, 5M. Now here, yeah, I'm skipping the FIC. So here for Competition Act, this one will be an exam topic. It covers all commercial activities inside and outside Malaysia, provides the fine up to 10% of worldwide turnover. I'll send you a real life exam that came up in Leong Hap and okay, so this is the example of here. This is example of Competition Act. NYCC. So long story short, they caught these 5 companies accused of deliberately increasing the price of their products by getting together and deliberately doing that. So they did the investigation and they found them guilty. So first they went to MICC, then they lost and then they tried to appeal under Competition Appeal Tribunal. This month they already lost. So here, this is try to encourage fair trade, competitive pricing, efficiency, innovation. We want to prevent general market manipulation and we want to prevent abuse of market power for unethical practice. Take note, energy, communications, or multimedia are exempted. My question for all of you is this: is RHB exempted? Is RHB exempted? Is RHB exempted from Competition Act? Yes or no? Yes, that's right. The answer is no. FIs are not exempted. You can't, for example, if you have a RHB housing loan, for example, Insoon, you cannot force Insoon in order for you to, before you can draw down, you must accept Bank Tokyo Marine Insurance. You're not allowed to do that. Okay. FIs are not exempted. So the one you saw with the Leong Hub and PBB example is the anti-competitive agreement issues here, where they were trying to fix the price. And the other one here was abuse of dominant position by an enterprise in any market for goods or service. Now here is infringement. Infringement means a violation of prohibition. And so this is where they explain more detail on infringement. And on the right side, prohibition doesn't apply to agreements that's entered pursuant to legal compliance, collective agreements, governing employment terms, enterprises engaged in providing service, and enterprise acting as revenue-producing monopolies. The other final topic for this chapter is what is PDPA. PDPA stands for protecting the public data against abuse of customers' personal data collected. You're not allowed to sell this information. You're not allowed to give this information as data to third parties. What they will test in exam will be what are the 7 principles of PDPA. Is general principle, notice and choice, security, retention, data integrity, access principle, and disclosure principle. These are on the left side, the rights of data subject rights. On the right side, these are the exceptions to PDPA. And the Act doesn't apply to these 3. Federal and state governments and authorities, only outside Malaysia unless intended for use in Malaysia, and credit reporting business by credit reporting agency. I want to wrap up real quick here before we go for ethics here. Ethics is the last chapter. It's very, very, very quick. I'll just go over this very quickly. I want to explain what is the game plan for later this month. What you guys need to do. So we have the code of conduct. So topic number 1, code of conduct, GP7. Okay, remember these principles: avoid conflict of interest, avoid abuse of power and position, maintain and ensure accuracy and integrity of records, prevent misuse of information, and ensure confidentiality of information to customers and clients, and fair dealings with customers and stakeholders. So that's topic number 1. Topic number 2 is what is corporate governance. They refer to overall supervision and control of directors and senior management of the company to protect and enhance its stakeholders. That includes shareholders, customers, and staff. And then this is the general objective of corporate governance. And if you have reputation poor corporate governance, you have less business, few opportunities, cooler investors' response to fundraising activities, and less favorable lending terms and conditions. So you do expose yourself to reasonable amount of risk, and resource of institution are best deployed to achieve its objective. Good corporate governance framework. Sorry. Excuse me. Gives the best practice to promote business activities. My apologies. Give me a second. For all companies in the stock exchange, they must be disclosed for corporate governance practices. My apologies, I know my voice is losing it. There's also what they call systemic failure or contagion effect. And that's due to bank failure. And systemic risk, they counter by the presence of higher standards of corporate governance and FIs, particularly on directors and top management. So they have what they call MCCG. This is issued by SC. It's for principles and recommendations for all public entities and is voluntary for all public listed companies. And banks are targeted for fraud, risky financial schemes. That's why you got to be careful to check the integrity of the borrowers as well to minimize NPLs. You want to check transparency, proven management skill, and good internal risk management practice. Last topic is fit and proper criteria. This is to ensure banking sector meets minimum ethical threshold for chairman, directors, senior officers, financial advisors, and you have the standards of probity, personal integrity, reputation, and competency. The rest of it you can read on your own. Okay, let's wrap up real quick. I want to wrap up quickly, and then I need to talk to every single one of you. What is the plan for the next month? Okay, because last I checked with RHB, November is the last chance for your mock exam, so we need to plan carefully. But first, let's recap what are the topics we covered just now. I think I'll just go straight to chapter 3. I want to cover chapter 3 very quickly here. For slide number 194 to 196, what are the 6 code of conduct? What are the 6 code of conduct? Slide. Avoid conflict of interest. Very good. Screens on, please. Okay. I want everyone screens on, please. I want to see all of you. Avoid conflict of interest.
Avoid abuse of power and position.
Yep.
Prevent misuse of information.
Maintain and ensure accuracy and integrity of records.
Dealing with customers and stakeholders.
Good.
Confidentiality of information of customer and client.
Question number 1. Six. Yep. Go ahead. Which of the 6 is a violation? It's also a violation of law.
Ensure confidentiality of information of customer and clients.
Correct, Perry. We learned that this afternoon, Perry. Section 133 FSA, banking secrecy. Everyone write that down. Section 133 banking secrecy here. Okay. And I want you guys to write down fiduciary duties. Okay? Fiduciary duties. To keep it simple, is based on act on best interests of the customer. To maintain trust and confidence. Yeah. Next one on slide number 197. What is corporate governance? What is corporate governance?
Supervision and control of directors and senior management of the company.
Very good. Is to supervise and control the directors and senior management. Who in Sun are they trying to protect?
Stakeholder and customer and staff.
And shareholders as well in Sun.
Yeah.
Now, story time. Alliance Bank, 25 years ago, they had a CEO by the name of Bridget Lai. Okay, Bridget Lai had very interesting personality. I'll put it to you that way. She's known as a dragon lady. So she was ex-consumer banking of Standard Chartered, and so she became CEO. So at the time, Alliance Bank is a merger of several different banks. And this is where they were doing a lot of the branding exercises, like they were refurnishing the branches, changing the logos, and so on. So they gave a contractor million ringgit to renovate the branches and fix and put the new logos, etc. It turns out the contractor is related to Bridget Lai years later. And then they found out that the related person is the husband. My question to all of you is this. Is it Bridget Lai violate Malaysian law doing this? Is Bridget Lai criminal for doing this?
Yes, I guess.
Technically, no. She didn't go to jail for this.
No.
No, she didn't. But having said that, yeah, so ethics is not about violating law, because unless it's banking secrecy. Yeah? But do you, as a staff, if you are working in Alliance Bank, do you trust Bridget Lai?
As a staff,
Do you trust her? If you are the customer, shareholder, do you trust Bridget Lai? Do you have confidence in her, that you trust her?
No.
no. That's true.
First, she was put on administrative leave doing investigation. Then quietly, she resigned. And for over 20 years, he never stepped foot as a banker in Malaysia. Last I heard, she was like a CEO in an Indonesian bank. Ethics is not about necessarily violation of law, but it's about building confidence and trust. And if we have somebody that is violating that trust, that is not good. So, corporate governance is to supervise who? Directors and senior management. Yeah. It's not to supervise you guys. It's to supervise top level people. Your CEO, CFO, your directors of RHB. Okay? So that leads me to my next topic. Fit and proper criteria, slide number 202. So who's your CEO now in RHB? Who's your CEO now? Dr. Rashid, right? So what I'm saying, Anifa, is when Dr. Rashid became the CEO of RHB, they have to get Bank Negara fit and proper criteria approval. Bank Negara has to approve fit and proper criteria. This is on slide number 202. Yeah, this is on slide number 202. Okay, fit and proper criteria is to prevent another July from happening. My question for all of you is fit and proper criteria for branch managers? Yes or no?
No.
Is it for head of departments?
No.
The regional heads?
No.
No.
No. Okay. Who is it for?
CEOs.
Senior management.
Senior management.
Managing
Directors?
director.
Yeah.
Board of directors, chairman, financial advisors. Financial advisor is not insurance agent, just to be clear. It's right down all senior management levels, senior level. Okay? This is for very senior level. What are the 3 criteria in fit and proper? What are the 3 criteria you need to know for exam?
Standard of probity.
Yup.
Personal integrity.
Okay.
Reputation.
Reputation and competency.
Competency.
My question for all of you is, what is probity?
Don't know.
At least you're honest. You write down high moral values. High moral values. High moral values. Probity means high moral values. High moral values. Yeah. Example, honesty. Example is honesty. Integrity. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna check with all of you one by one. Okay, I'm gonna talk to you guys one by one. I need to find out from you, when are you taking the exam or planning to? And what is your study strategy for the next month, 6 to 8 weeks? What's your study strategy, study plan? I need to know this because I need to make sure you're all on track. I noted 6, 7 of you failed the CCE. I want to just see you one time only for CCR. Pass this, get it done. Yeah, I don't want you guys to go through this headache again. Okay, now, first question I'll ask is Suraya, when are you planning and when is your study plan? I'm writing this down, yeah, so I'm taking notes.
Taking exam might be December.
Okay, December, okay.
Study strategy or study plans.
Yeah,
Like you said, 1 hour per day,
1 hour per day,
at least.
at least. Yeah,
Weekend maybe can be 3 hours or 4 hours.
good. Okay, good. And
How
then you,
to pass this time?
yeah, we want to, the good news is there's no writing. It's all MCQs. So, lebih senang lah. It's all MCQs. But this time, Suraya, did you study last time? Did you write things down?
Not all chapter.
Ada tulis like this chapter, what are the informasi? Did you write down last time? You have to change the strategy then. Tak boleh baca saja. You have to tulis to remember things down. Mesti tukar strategy. This is one
Okay.
thing I emphasize. Yeah. Okay. You must write things down and do mapping to pass this exam.
Okay. Yeah.
Banyak informasi to ingat. That's why. So the strategy has to change this time. Yeah. Suraya?
Yes. Yeah.
Good. Thanks. Insun, go ahead.
If you have finished all, then after the mock exam by the November, then maybe December, I would like to take the exam while all the information is still fresh.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. I agree. And your study plan?
My study plan, I think only weekend. I have the time to study now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Try to squeeze in maybe 30 minutes a day then during the weekdays. Yeah.
All right, I try.
Yeah. At least like write something down or recap what you learned during the weekend. And then like you force yourself to start in memorizing mode. Like
I think the best way is to write down. Write down, then you can memorize.
Correct.
Yeah.
Agreed. Okay. Especially when you see tomorrow, there's a lot of questions, MCQs on land loss. You will see. It gets very difficult.
Okay.
Okay, thanks. Anifa, I wasn't sure if your microphone is working. If not, you just type down. Is that okay, Anifa? Boleh ya? Wan Asmita, go ahead.
Yeah, hi. Probably same as Suraya. Not probably lah. I think I'll be taking in December. The exam will be to proceed in December, and the study plan also same as others. I think I have to concentrate at least 30 minutes on weekdays.
Sure. Okay. Great. And we want to get you to pass this time, yeah?
Yeah.
That's the goal. So you got to change the strategy now, so to write things down.
All right.
I'm sure you forgot everything you learned from CCE 5 years ago. So that's the thing. Yeah. So you got to write things down. Okay, good. Thanks. Vijay?
Most probably I will take on December.
Okay.
Okay, my exam strategy might be I do after my work at least one day, 2 hours or what, or Saturday, Sunday.
Okay.
If possible, yeah.
Okay,
To
good.
cover it, yeah.
Okay. Remember to write things down, yeah? You should be
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Derek?
For my exam day targeting will be like middle or end of November.
Middle of
And my
November.
study
Like
plan
that.
will be like maybe 1 hour per day.
Yeah, good. Then at least your mind is still fresh, Derek. Yeah, especially for you since you're relatively new to this. Just get it done quickly and just get it out of the way. Good. All right, thanks. Hafiz.
I plan if can maybe the exam will be taken maybe by end of November or early December lah.
End of
So
November. Yeah.
if we can settle earlier as possible.
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah. Good.
Then the study plan maybe on the weekdays. I try to have at least around 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Session in writing, and then maybe I can spend more time on weekend lah.
Yeah.
1 or 2 hours.
I wanted to ask you, Hafiz, did you have experience reading financials when you were doing factoring, or you didn't have to? Is it? Just want to check.
Not involved heavily lah. Not involved heavily.
Just surface level lah.
Surface level. When I in RHB, then involved totally in the all these things lah.
That one was the culture shock, I think. Okay.
Not so sure. Okay.
So read that as well, so that I'll help you. And I think for Insun also, financials may be the toughest topic for you, because it's in mortgage. So spend some time to read as well. So Insun and Hafiz, those are the two that you might have to spend a bit more time reading just to be familiar on the content. Okay, very good. Let's see. Lewis, go ahead.
I'll be taking the exam maybe by December. Yeah.
Okay. What's the study plan?
And the study plan will be weekly recap for the study strategy by day, daily. And to increase my study time when the time reaching the exam to increase during weekend. Yeah.
Will you be more specific? How much you increase?
Maybe full day during the weekend before just 2 weeks before the exam. Yeah.
So you're saying you're gonna take 2 weeks leave, is it? And then only then do the exam? Is that what you're saying?
No. Cause I will try to make it the study by daily and to increase my studying time more and more.
Okay.
When the times reaching before the exam.
Okay.
To the exam timing, yeah. To increase.
How much per day? How much time per day?
Maybe 8 hours during weekend, full day.
During the beginning stage.
During the beginning stage will be daily about 30 minutes to 1 hour.
Good. That's all.
Daily, yeah.
So that means when I see you in November, I expect to see my mapping all 15 chapters, yeah? That is the requirement, just to let you know. I want it to be done before mock exam, not before the actual exam. Just to be clear.
Yes, understand, yeah.
The reason why I say that, Louis, is because in the mock exam, we're going to treat it like the real exam to mentally prepare everyone to pass the exam. So that if you can handle it, then we know where you are. We don't wait until study cram style for actual exam. We study hard for these next 3-4 weeks to pass the mock exam so that you're ready to pass the real exam. Just to let you know, Louis, the passing rate is below 50% for CCR Training. It's no joke. I want to be very clear to everyone. I don't want the last minute cramming. And I want my mapping for all 15 chapters. Yeah. Okay. So good. You've made a promise. Then they will do my mapping for all 15 chapters by November when I see you. Good. Next, Aiden.
Okay, so planning to take the exam at end of November, semester week. And daily maybe spend around 1 hour to revise.
Good. Yeah. Pay. Oh, is the microphone not working? I can't remember. That's the cut of data. Oh, okay, yeah. The reason why I need 5 is because we want to make sure you pass. Perry, I have talked to you yet? I'm not sure, so sorry.
Oh, not yet.
Okay, go ahead.
I plan to take the exam by November.
Yeah.
Yeah. Study plan will do the mind mapping for every chapter lah.
Yeah. Yeah. I would say in your case, I think you should be okay because you have experience in 12 years experience. I think the tricky ones will be the land loss and the guarantees and the documentation. I think the financials, you should be okay. Okay, Anifa, to answer your question, you have to sign up yourself. Yeah. You sign up to book the venue and the date yourself in AICB members portal, Anifa. Okay. Pei.
Yes, I'll be taking the exam in December and I'll need to study an hour per day and more during weekend.
Good. December is fine. I think in your case, you should be okay. Just be consistent, yeah? By the way, are you colleagues with Sunny?
Sorry?
Are you colleagues with Sunny Chai by any chance?
He's in Ipoh, yeah.
Oh, he's in Ipoh.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just passed his CCR.
Yes.
Now it's going straight for BBC. Okay. You can follow his strategy. He passed.
Correct.
Good. Liwen?
Same, I guess. Early December, probably take it.
Okay, early December, I like.
Mm.
Study plan?
1 hour per day.
Good. Yeah, you should be all right. Yeah, Nicole from Program Lending, Northern Regional, also did quite well in her mocks. She scored 70%. Just let you know.
Right, probably December.
Okay.
Then study plan will be 30 minutes per day of all days.
Okay, good. Huiju? Theo, sorry.
Yeah, we're taking the exam in December and also spend 1 hour to study every day.
Okay, good. Amira? No, Amira. So sorry. Not sure.
Hi.
Yep, go ahead.
Okay, so we take on early December, and then the strategy for study, maybe do a mind mapping, easy for me to remember,
Right.
and then at least 1 hour per day.
Okay, good. Shuya, go ahead.
So I would like to take the exam in the mid of December and planning to at least to study an hour in a day, make it consistent.
Yeah, the key is to be consistent.
Yeah.
This is the key. And a lot of you guys in the Southern region, you can now all study together. Go to Burma's McDonald's and study together. Okay, Kent?
I think I plan to take the exam in maybe November or December. Depends on my schedule. But my study plan will be like every weekends I have time and then I go through the slides and the materials.
What about the weekdays?
Weekdays, if weekdays allow, I have time, I will go through also.
You got to, because you're relatively new to this. Yeah. Weekends will honestly be not enough in your case, Ken. Yeah.
Okay.
Eva? Yeah. Eva, go ahead.
I will taking the exam on December.
Study
and the
time?
study plan is I will study 1 or 2 hours a day.
2 hours a day. I like that. So your mind mapping will be double. Good. I'll expect a good mind mapping in November when I see you. Good. Thanks, Eva. William?
So I'm planning to get the exam done early December.
Early December. Okay.
And then the study plan is about an hour a day.
Good. CJ, is your microphone working? I wasn't sure. Go ahead. Oh no, the microphone's still not working. So sorry. You can type your. So sorry, CJ. We'll try tomorrow morning, yeah? Justin, what's your plan, Justin? Okay, go ahead, Justin. Justin, can you unmute, please? Okay. Okay, thanks. Okay. I see it. But the key, Justin, is you gotta be consistent. Yeah. This is the, yeah. Now, the key, Justin, is I know your weekdays are packed, but try to squeeze in at least the minimum 30 minutes. Like come in 30 minutes before work early, beat the jam, just get it done like consistently. Yeah. This is where what I would recommend, Justin, just get it done quickly, like first thing in the morning, just to clear it out. Okay. Tazo? Oh no. Is the microphone not working, Tazo? Never mind. You can just type, that's fine. Okay. And Amal?
Planning to taking exam in early December and study strategy to do mapping and 1 hour per day spend to to read.
Because you did the CCE long time ago, right, Amal?
Yeah, right.
We gotta make sure. Did you how did you study last time when you did CCE? Did you write
Last
things?
time, last minute study.
How much last minute, if you don't mind me asking?
2 weeks baru study before exam.
2 weeks is not enough. You take leave to do it?
No.
Okay, not really. And Brian? Brian, go ahead. I'm not sure if your microphone is working. Brian, you can just type. One thing I want to emphasize, everyone's screens on please. I do see some people off the screens, yeah? I want to wrap up with this point. This is the last year for this 2025. Your mock exam in November is the last one for 2025. Okay, just to be very clear. They're not going to do any more CCR training and mock exam. They'll push it, okay? So I want to be absolutely clear on this, that I need you guys to think about this like training for marathon. Nope, there was just a Standard Chartered Bank marathon just 2 weeks ago, right? Nobody learns how to train for marathon just by 2 weeks training. It's impossible. You have to treat this like you're training for marathon. That's why I say 30 minutes, 45 minutes, 1 hour per day. Keep doing that and change the strategy. No more just baca buku saja. You have to write things down. You have to do mind mapping, highlight keywords. I'm not asking you to write every single word. I'm asking you to write down keywords that you need to know for exam. Okay? So that is the plan I need you guys to do, and I need to see commitment from your side to ensure that you pass. You follow this strategy, you will pass. You don't follow this strategy, you will be like some of your colleagues that fail the CCE and go through the same cycle again. We don't want that. We want you to, number one, change the strategy. Number two, be consistent in your studies. And number three, treat the mock exam like the real exam. I repeat, treat the mock exam in November. It's the last chance. We already prepared 900 MCQs to help you pass. So there's no way you could fail if you follow our strategy. We give you the support. We will give you the WhatsApp. I'm going to share with you the WhatsApp topics. Okay? And I want you guys to take this seriously and go from there. Okay? As I promised, the session ends now. It's 5 o'clock. You may now end the session and I'll see you guys. But those of you with microphones and cameras not working, I need you to log in early and test to make sure that it works, because we need to take attendance photo. Okay, so please cooperate. Okay? All right. Thank you so much. Any questions? I'll hang on for now.
Thank you.
But I will see you guys tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock sharp for attendance photo.